All right, welcome back, True Seeker. I'm joined with Jonathan. He watched the live stream this morning and he has a lot more information to add. And as I mentioned on that stream, Jonathan is who is completing the book 38 Special about the many deaths in the world of hip hop by the 38 Code. And again, as a reminder, that 38 Code doesn't just pertain to the world of hip hop. Also, dead in the news today is the assistant coach of the Bengals, the son of Mike Zimmer, the former coach of the Vikings, who's dead at age 38, who also used to coach in Minnesota, the state where George Floyd was killed on the corner of 38th Street, who was connected to the Houston hip hop scene, where we have the death of Takeoff. But as a reminder, you are watching Gematria Effect News, possibly also Gematria Effect Sports. And in the language of Gematria, murder, death, killing, and RIP all equal 38, as does the word rapper. It's an all too familiar pattern. And in this case, so does Minnesota, since we're talking about the son of the Minnesota, or I should say, former Minnesota coach. And anyway, not to get off on that tangent of his death, let's talk about Takeoff. And we got Jonathan here to bring the additional information that I missed on in the stream earlier today. So without further ado, here's Jonathan, and make sure when his book comes out, 38 Special, you support it. All right, what's up, Jonathan?
Thanks, Zach.
Of course.
So this wasn't the first time that someone has tried to make an attempt on the Migos. Uh, Back on May, it was reported on March 28, 2014, that after a show, the Migos crew was driving in a van on a highway after a club appearance when another vehicle pulled up alongside them and started shooting. And notice they emphasize the word van. Um, the word van equals 44, along with Georgia equals 44.
And you know what else?
Eh,
I don't know if you caught it, but Chigozi Truth did a stream on this morning, and he noticed that from the death today to Offset's upcoming birthday, the third member of Migos, who apparently wasn't here, but from the death to Offset's upcoming birthday is a span of 44 days. And again, if you guys are new here, that's another really familiar pattern. Shooting equals 44, execution 44, kill 44. And like Jonathan just said, Georgia, as the Falcons get to 4-4 over the weekend. And don't forget, last year, Matt Stafford, the Georgia product, won the Super Bowl on the 44th day of the year. Not to mention Matt Stafford equals 44 right after Georgia won the college championship. So again, like we're always saying, these patterns, they go beyond death and killing. From college to the NFL, it's all rigged and scripted. The ritual murders, it's the same code being used across the board because it's the same type of people controlling all of these entertainment streams.
So so the article continues. There are reports of the group's bodyguard shot in the leg and hospitalized. He also claims they returned fire at the other vehicle, saying there was at least 40 rounds being blasted. And notice the word 40 in numerology, the zero doesn't count, so it's like a four. And it's like you were talking about earlier, Zach. This is basically the 4-year anniversary of his solo album coming out. Tomorrow will be 4 years since the album dropped. And four is a number associated with death. Um, so so they emphasize that they were in a van. And like I said, the word van equals 44. Couple years later, 2019, there was a report about Offset. Somebody was trying to. There's not a lot of details on it, but in 2019, the other member of the group, Migos. So Migos is three people in Migos. It's Offset, Takeoff, and Quavo. So like I said, 2014, there was an attempt on their life in Miami. Then in 2019, one of the members, Offset, uh, was a victim of a drive-by shooting He didn't get hit or anything, but they tried to kill him in 2019. And supposedly Offset is now not a part of the group. Supposedly he left the group. So Quavo and Takeoff, Quavo is the uncle and Takeoff is his nephew. So they just came out with an album. And just about it was the Drink Champs interview with Quavo and Takeoff came out. It was published October 22nd, right? So about 10 days ago. If you go to the 9 minute and 30-second mark, right? You go to the 9 minute and 30-second mark. Nori's giving Takeoff praise, right? He's like, I feel like you really showed out on this album. You know, you really did a good job. And Takeoff responds, he goes, yeah, I feel like it's my time to shine. I feel like I had to let, people know what I could do. And he was like, I want my flowers now, not when I'm gone. This is what Takeoff said about 10 days ago. He says, I want my flowers now, not when I'm gone. So then it's a tradition on Drink Champs. They bring him the flowers. So they bring him the flowers and and then start clapping. It's about the 9 minute and 30-second mark. So now all of a sudden he's dead. Now remember, there was a few years ago, I want to say around 4 years ago, there was a rumor that Takeoff had died. And now it becomes true, supposedly. Or are you gonna can you play it? Or would
Oh
that
no,
be a
we
problem?
better not. They might get us with the
Okay.
copyright. I'm just showing people if they want to check it out.
Yeah, 9 minutes. You go to the 9 minutes and 30-second mark. And so okay, again, so let's just go back to Miami, right?
My bad. I was just trying to get up this story. By the way,
Yeah.
just did you know that they said he
Yeah.
was playing a dice game when he got shot? The Gematria dice game is 38, like rapper, like death, like murder, like killing, like RIP.
Oh, that's a good catch.
Yeah, the Breakfast Club covered that. The Breakfast Club covered that they were doing the dice game. But the picture I saw of him dead, it looked like he was on stairs. So I'm like, who plays dice on stairs?
That's what I saw too. It
So
doesn't
yeah,
even look
it's
this
like they just got to throw in the detail to get the gematria in there.
this doesn't even feel real. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
feel like he's even dead. Because what I'm saying is that a couple years ago there was a rumor that he died. Now he actually dies. And there's just so much to this. Okay, so just back to the Miami thing, right? So the first attempt on the Migos was an attempt in a van in Miami. So Miami is the 305 area code. And now today's the 305th day of the year.
Right.
Okay, so today's the 305th day of the year. Their first attempt on their life was in the 305 area code. And like I said, 2019, they already attempted to try to kill Offset. Now Takeoff's dead. So you got to think about it. The Migos is probably the biggest group, one of the biggest groups in hip hop history. Of course, one of their members had to go. It's just like the biggest. Let's talk about the biggest groups in hip hop history. Wu-Tang Clan, right? Old Dirty Bastard, gone. NWA, Eazy-E, gone. So of course you got to have. I saw this coming. We've seen this coming. This is a predictable story with all the same numbers that they always put in it. So of course, one of the biggest, arguably the biggest hip hop group of our generation, now one of the members is gone. Some argue he was the one with the most talent. So if you got to look at the label, right? Quality control. And like you said, quality control equals 111. He's dead on 11/1, right? Or this when the news came out. Supposedly it happened last night.
Again,
No,
not only is he dead on 11/1 on Quality Control Music as label, but he's dead 87 months after their first album came out, July 31st, 2015. So somebody left a comment earlier and said, well, they had mixtapes before that. But yeah, that's their first album on Quality Control Music. So for
yeah,
people
that
who
was
leave
their
comments
first
like that, it's like
official
you got to
album.
use logic. We're talking about the label. So I don't know what you're talking about their mixtapes from before they're on the label. We're saying this is synced up with the label in their first release. Again, exactly 87 months. And I know earlier I was saying the name wrong, Quavo. I know it's Quavo now. Okay, Quavo, but his birth name is also 87, and that's who he was with. And that's not an arbitrary number. That's a number connected to the beast. And that's who these guys are selling their souls to. So,
Right, and the point about the mixtape is that they had the mixtapes to get the buzz, and then they got the deal, and then they dropped their official album in 2015.
mm-hmm.
So you got to look at the history of this label, right? It's one of the most, it's probably the most successful label out, right? We can argue that, but as far as commercial success, right? They got Lil Baby, probably the biggest rapper in the world. Him and Drake, and the Migos, the biggest rap group in our generation, and the City Girls are also signed to Quality Control, the biggest rap female group. So I want to talk about Marlo. Now Marlo, aka Lil Marlo, and you have a decode on this as well. But he was, and this Marlo is going in the book because I just feel like it's so important. He wasn't a famous rapper, but I feel like it's so important to the story of Lil Baby and Quality Control. So Marlo was an Atlanta, Georgia rapper, and he was Lil Baby's best friend. Lil Baby made his first song with Marlo. They both got signed to Quality Control Music on the same day. Lil Baby is arguably the most commercially successful artist in hip hop at this moment. It was reported that Marlo was found in his car dead from a gunshot wound on 7/12/2020. Lil Marlo never considered getting into the industry until multiple people around him said that he should become a rapper. This was obviously a bad move as it cost him his life. He was 30 years old, although some reports say he was 27. Did you ever remember when we did this? Did you ever get conflicting reports about his age? Because that's all I ever gotten. Some people were saying he was 27. Some people, it's not a big deal, but
they do that a lot now. Just the numbers will change at the time of death. I mean, by tomorrow they could be telling us that Takeoff was 27 years old. So,
yeah. But I think that the 28 probably fits more because Takeoff equals 28, and he died at 28. The word man equals 28.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
The perfect number.
Mm-hmm. And just to tell people about those routine patterns, I mean, the thing about Lil Marlo is he was killed on the date with 59 numerology, and that's the number stamped all over Black history. Motown came out in 59. Black History Month ends on the 59th day of the year. Slave, Negro, Blues, Rasta, all 59. And if you use numerology, Atlanta, Georgia's 59. So,
okay, so now, so check it out, right? So if he was 27, then he's part of the 27 club. Ritual 27, racism 27. Lil Marlo was found dead in Atlanta in his car at 2:06 a.m., according to what officers told TMZ. The word sacrifice equals 206 in Jewish. From his birthday on May 1st, 2020, until he died on 7/12/2020 was 73 days. Sacrifice 73. Ritual sacrifice 73. Lil Baby was his label mate and his best friend. Lil Baby's real name is Dominique Jones. Dominique Jones 73. This news was reported on Sunday, July 12th, 2020, a date with 59 numerology. 7/12/2020 equals 59. Killed equals 59 in Jewish, like you just talked about. Marlow 59, Carr 59, Atlanta, Georgia 59. 59 is the number stamped on Black history. 59 is the 17th prime. Shot equals 17. They say Quavo was shot. Understand, Quavo and Marlowe were signed to the same label, Quality Control. That's why I'm talking about this.
And did you mention that
Sh-
Lil Marlowe equals 38?
oh, it's coming.
Okay.
Shot equals 17. Rap 17. Kill 17.
Yeah,
Lil
I
Mar-
just got to point out the Rockets are 1-7 while he dies in Houston.
while Takeoff dies in Houston. Look, oh, that's perfect. And then he has the album called Rocket. So Lil Marlowe 38, rapper 38, murder 38, killing 38. July 12th is the 193rd day of the year in non-leap years. 193 is the 44th prime number. Georgia 44, kill 44, execution 44, deceased 44. Lil Baby equals 45. Hip hop equals 45. Ritual is 45. The hip hop station on Sirius XM is channel 45. Lil Baby equals 126. It is like the day Kobe Bryant died, 1/26/2020. It's also like the day Blue Benji Kobe died, 12/6/2020. Quality Control is the label Lil Baby and Marlowe were both signed under. Quality Control 67, Blood Sacrifice 67, Human Sacrifice 67, Soul 67. Right? You got to sell your soul, right? So on 1/14/2022, that was this year, another rapper who was signed to Quality Control at the time of his death was shot and killed. He was a rapper from Miami, Florida. His name was Wavy Navy Pooh. He was ambushed in a car while driving with his kids. It's interesting to note that both rappers Marlowe and Wavy Navy Pooh both died in a car and they were signed to the same record label.
And again, Wavy Navy Pooh, the name of all names, he was killed on a date with 38 numerology, January 15th, 22, right?
The 14th.
Oh, was it the news broke on January 15th? The
The
news
news
broke
broke
on
on the
38
15th.
days.
Yep.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. The news broke. Yep. So both, and remember the first attempt on the Migos was in a van. Marlowe gets killed in a car. Wavy Navy Pooh gets killed in a car. Now, the City Girls are from Miami, the biggest girl hip hop group in hip hop, and they're signed to Quality Control. And somebody in Miami, one of the a fellow rapper dies in Miami, while this girl group is signed to the biggest, basically the biggest label, right? And then the Migos is signed to this label, Lil Baby signed to this label, and not only that, but Young Greatness, who he had a couple of songs. He was also signed to Quality Control, and he was murdered. He was murdered. He was found dead in New Orleans. So if you look at this label, um, well, it's like I explained in the book, right? Um, the smaller rapper gets sacrificed for the bigger rapper. Like nobody ever heard of Wavy Navy Pooh, but everybody's heard of the City Girls. So it's almost like a sacrifice for the small. Nobody's ever heard like think about it. Marlo and Baby signed on the same day. Marlo gets killed, and Baby's career takes off. So the smaller rapper gets sacrificed for the bigger one. Takeoff, he was like the least known artist of the group, right? The two um, Offset and Quavo were had more fame or were more well known compared to Takeoff, right? So the least known member of the group gets sacrificed, for the bigger artist.
Indeed. Indeed. Yeah.
Now, some people are mentioning okay, so now this we could talk about Houston. People are saying that he was with Jazz Prince, who's Jay Prince's son. Supposedly this was his party or something. What? Okay, so
Halloween party, I imagine.
oh, Halloween party. Okay. Okay, so now all right, so now think about this. On that same Drink Champs interview, right? Nori asked him the question that everybody asks. Oh, hip hop, do you think it's the most dangerous job in the world? And their response is, yeah, hip hop is the most dangerous jobs in the world, but that's why we stay with security. That's why we stay with guns. That's why we've never had a problem. This interview just came out about 10 days ago.
But by the
Now,
way,
now, yeah,
a detail that came out since I did the stream this morning is they're saying his own security accidentally shot him. Did you hear that?
I just heard that about 20 minutes ago. It's a joke. So, but he and Nori actually, you got to watch the Drink Champs interview, right? Um, there's there's not that many interesting parts about it, but he asks him. He says, "Hey, what do you think?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's why we stay with guns. We stay with security. We never had a problem." But obviously, they've have had problems because I just told you that they attempted to kill him in a drive-by in Miami. Then in 2019, another drive-by attempt on Offset, and now Takeoff is dead in Houston. So this ain't adding up. If you knowing that it's so dangerous to be a rapper, how come they always getting caught slipping? Nobody's ever shooting back. There's never a story of other than maybe Gucci Man of a rapper actually protecting his life because supposedly somebody tried to come at Gucci Man and he killed the assailant. But there's never a story like that. That's the only one I know of. But all these rappers talk about is guns and killing, and how they strapped and how they gangster and nobody could try them. But every other week is somebody dropping dead. This ain't adding up. This ain't adding up.
Well, it only adds up in the gematria sense, but yeah, the stories never really make any sense. The only thing that adds up is the numbers. And speaking of which, I mean, we're always talking about these guys' social media profiles too. And again, I mean, you can look into it. These celebrities, some of them will even talk about how their social media is stage managed. But what are the odds that Takeoff's on 83 Instagram posts? His birth name equals 83, just like murder's 83. And again, if you guys are new here, we talk about that number all the time with murder too, because if you don't use numerology, murder's 83, and the song Murder by Numbers came out in 83. And I realize his Instagram's boosted by 100K since I did the stream this morning. This morning it said 8.2 million followers. It's up to 8.3 million followers to go with his 83 posts right now.
And his name equals 83. Perfect.
His birth name, yeah, his birth name's 83. Again and again, man. And what was his last post? I didn't even look at his last social media post. So often these guys are dropping clues.
Oh, there's definitely some clues in that Drink Champs interview.
Yeah, there's always clues abound, man. I mean, there's always clues abound. What was it? Oh, I'm not logged in because I'm on Sweet Lady's computer, but
let me so okay, so Jazz Prince, right? He's the son of Jay Prince, and Jay Prince is the head of Rap-A-Lot Records.
Okay. Which is a Houston label, right?
Houston label, right. And Jazz Prince is the one who supposedly discovered Drake, took him to Rap-A-Lot. Somehow Jay Prince made it happen where he met Lil Wayne and Baby. But so this is Jazz Prince's party, and the history of Rap-A-Lot is suspect as well. This is the first rapper that ever got killed on Rap-A-Lot Records was Seagram. Right, Seagram was a rapper from Oakland, California. Oakland, California equals 74. Seagram was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting and you was talking about 213 earlier. He was killed in a drive-by shooting on 7/31/96. This was the 213th day of 1996. Drive-by shooting equals 213. nigga equals 213, Black History Month 213, racism 213, Black Panther 213, which started in Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
Tupac's last album while he was alive was released on 213, 1996.
And just for people who weren't alive
So,
then, they pushed that album back again and again and again and again and again until it finally ended up on that day. And again, yeah, he's dead 213 days later. Not to mention it's the 44th day of the year 213, and shooting is 44. And how did he die? Supposedly from a shooting. I think you meant to make a point about Marlowe getting shot on the 193rd day of the year, the 44th prime as well.
oh yeah, I read about that. Yeah, it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. To go along with all the other 44s with Georgia execution. Um, so it's just Georgia's big on that 44. And okay, so what I was saying with Seagram, right, is yeah, so 213 days later, Tupac's dead from a drive-by shooting after his album came out on 213. Tupac's mother was a member of the Black Panthers. Tupac's first album was recorded in Oakland. And as for the number 83, which we just talked about, Seagram Miller equals 83. Rap-A-Lot equals 83. Murder 83. Right? So Seagram Miller, he had the perfect name, just like Takeoff has the perfect name, right? Takeoff's real name equal 83. Seagram Miller had the perfect name for the ritual. And he was on the right label. Rap-A-Lot equals 83, right?
Mm-hmm.
The song Murder by Numbers came out in 83 by the band The Police. Most of the time is the police killing these rappers.
And imagine we went to the police with all this information, all these patterns about all these dead rappers, unsolved murders. What are the police going to do about it? They're going to do nothing about it. So.
Of course. They're not gonna
imagine if we had the authority of the state and we could look into this. Here, we want to know who's behind managing his Instagram profile. Well, we'd have all the right questions. We'd figure out who's really behind this because we got the. So, again, people have to really think about what's going on, the bigger picture. The authorities always given the stories. And I watched the police officer's interview since I did the stream this morning, given the details. He seems so lackadaisical about it. If anybody out there has any information, let us know, because right now we don't really know a whole lot. It's just like his whole demeanor's off. I mean, like, you feel like you'd be talking in a different way if you're talking about a dead person and you really want to find out who killed him. And then that's where I always shrug my shoulders too and say, are these people even really dying, or is this just the end of the rap career? They had to clear the stage for the next guy who sold his soul. So
that's what I'm saying. It don't look real to me. I don't even think he's dead. But first of all, just back to the police at that point. You're in Houston. You're in one of the biggest cities in the world. At a bowling alley, you're Jazz Prince. There's all these people around. Everybody got a camera. Like where? Like you telling me you don't know what happened? Nobody's seen nothing. Everybody got a camera. You always just see him on the floor bleeding. That's it. Same thing with Nipsey, on the floor bleeding. PNB Rock on the floor bleeding. Takeoff on the floor bleeding. This stuff don't even look real. Like, how come there's never shoot footage of the actual shooting and everybody's got a camera? Now I can understand back in the day with Seagram and Tupac and Biggie, there wasn't no cell phones like that, right? So maybe okay, we can go for that, right? But in 2022, no footage and nothing. Like even okay, like what like with PNB Rock, it's just like he sends his location and then all of a sudden the killers come. I mean, come on, nobody ever knows nothing. It's the police doing it. What else could it be? They're not going to tell on themselves.
mm-hmm.
So check it out. So Seagram was the first rapper to die on Rap-A-Lot Records, but certainly not the last. The name of his 3 albums is in order: The Dark Roads equals 74, Reality Check, and Souls on Ice. Those are some gloomy titles, right?
Indeed.
The number 42 is a huge number in the study of gematria and how it gets applied on Black people. I wrote about the number 59 earlier. They often put 59 and 42 together. Jay Prince, 42. Souls on Ice, 42. The actual first black baseball player in the white major leagues played in exactly 42 games before his career ended. Moses Walker, 42. Nigga, 42. Boy, 42. Tuskegee, 42. Bus, 42. Martin, 42. Malcolm X, 42. February, 42.
LeBron James, 42. Just wait until he retires at 42. Hank Aaron retired at 42. Last year, the 42nd pitch of the game, we were calling in real time. We smelled it going out of the park on the bat. Jorge Soler, he pushed the game away on the 42nd pitch with the big home run. Again, same stuff all over the place. And by the way, just with regards to the killing of black men, did you see the Dead Kennedys drummer this weekend?
I saw that, but I didn't click on your video. I saw the headline though.
Again, they're always
I,
killing the drummers in these bands. Drummer equals 38. The Dead Kennedys drummer slipped and fell and died, and at age 63, like JFK killed in 63, and then he's dead 111 days after his birthday, like Dead Kennedys is 111. Again, I mean, in a way, you could say he was lucky to live to 63 in the music industry, but it's a reminder. I mean, you don't just have to be a rapper; that they're killing a lot of these entertainers by the numbers. And
just back to the 42. Prodigy from Mobb Deep died when he was 42 years old.
yep.
Aretha Franklin released 42 studio albums in her career.
And aside from the numbers, Aretha dies on the anniversary of Elvis, the king of rock and roll, the queen of soul, Aretha. And then Mobb Deep, Prodigy, he dies during what was it, sickle cell
anemia
awareness
week.
weekend or something? It was like, come on, man.
Out of all the weekends, and then that's what I'm saying. Like Tupac said he was gonna kill all his enemies, and all these rappers around Tupac. You got to realize that all these rappers died around Tupac. Like for example, Stretch, he was a part of Live Squad, and he was down with Tupac, right? So Stretch dies, right, and he's affiliated with Tupac. The next rapper, Seagram, dies, who's from Oakland. Then Tupac dies. Then after that, Yaki Gaddafi dies, who was a part of the Outlaws. So Stretch, a part of the Live Squad, who Tupac was a part of when he was in New York. Seagram, who's from Oakland, where Tupac recorded his first album. Then it's Tupac. Then it's Yaki Gaddafi, who's a member of the Outlaws. Then after that, it's the Notorious Big. So all these rappers are like closely related to Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
So, the ones that died before and after.
And just going back to Prodigy, he dies in Vegas like Tupac, and Tupac had the little beef with him.
Right. He said he was going to kill all his enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Tupac said he was going to kill all his enemies. And what is the odds that he dies in Vegas, where you could legally fake your death?
Mm-hmm.
There's no proof of Pac even dying. There's no footage on the script. Now, in '96, okay, it wasn't cell phones like that, like the ones we got now. So what's the explanation for now? How come there's never any footage of anything? Like you see, how do we know that's even his dead body on that stairs? We don't know. This is the only grainy footage they ever give us. Okay, when they say Kobe died off that helicopter, you're telling me there's no footage of nothing? All these teenage girls that are on TikTok constantly and Instagram and just trying to, of course, you're going to be like, hey, I'm on a, you know what I'm saying? I'm on a, come on, bro. Like I'm on a helicopter with Kobe. I'm going to go viral. That's all they care about. So there's no proof of nothing. Like,
Indeed. I just think it's funny to think back. When I first found this knowledge, I went back and looked at all these old unsolved deaths and murders, and I started noticing 38 was encoded in all of them. Tupac dead on the 38 date, Notorious B.I.G. dead on the 38 date. We just talked about JFK. Walter Cronkite breaks the news about JFK's death by saying some 38 minutes ago, the president passed away. And again, from those observations nearly 10 years ago now, up to now, we have a million more observations about this number. And even in this one, where at first it doesn't look like there's actually a 38 on the death of Takeoff, but then they got to say he died during a dice game, even though, again, like we said, that doesn't make any sense, but because he was on the stairs shot. But dice game equals 38. It's like they got to just make it part of the ritual. And that's why people should see that this stuff is ritual. They just got to add details. They got to throw numbers into the story to make the ritual complete.
Yes. Understand that Takeoff was born on a date with 38 numerology. Let me verify that because I checked it earlier, but let me make sure of that.
So the latest intel is Takeoff was born on a date with 38
But
numerology.
hold on. I gotta verify that for sure. Wait a minute.
June 18th, 94.
Let me
Yeah,
verify that.
that's right.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's 38 date. Yeah, he was born on a 38 date numerology, and his birth name is 83. Murder 38 and 83. Perfect.
They gotta see. There's a 30. See, that's why the book never ends. For one, but all these big rappers, on all the rappers, I'm gonna put the 38 in there.
You know what
Takeoff born
else?
on a date with 38 numerology.
I see something else. Okay,
So
so for people who
yeah,
are new here, his birthday is June 18th, 1994. So there's different paths to the date numerology, but you're using all the digits of the number. So 6 plus 1 plus 8 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 4 is 38. So 38. There's another path for getting the date numerology, they'll all break down to the same number. 38 breaks down to 11, breaks down to 2. But another path is 6 plus 18 plus 19 plus 94, which equals 137. He's dead on his 137th day of his age, and bowling alley equals 137. And again, his birthday, because again, we're near the anniversary. Well, we're near the anniversary of the tragedy in Houston last year on November 5th, which is the day in history Tupac's Machiavelli album come out, a play on Machiavelli, who also faked his death. And let's not forget they announced his mom's death on the real Machiavelli's birthday. That's Tupac's mom I'm talking about. But Tupac, he died on a date with numerology of 38 and 118. His numerology path is also 6 plus 18 plus 94, which is also 118. So his birth numerology is a lot like the death numerology for the date Tupac passed. And somebody said the first story they saw this morning was a picture of him in whatever news source they're looking at wearing a Tupac t-shirt, and that's probably not an accident. So
what? Oh, wait. Give me the 118 again.
because he's born
Yeah. Okay.
he's born 6/18/94, right? So 6 plus 18 plus 94 is 118. And for people who are new here in Jewish,
Oh yeah. Okay.
death and homicide are 118.
Oh wait, that's huge. Wait a minute. That's huge. That's so huge, Zach. Wait a minute. That is huge. One a date. Okay. Hip hop's birthday is 8/11/1973. A date that can be written as 118.
Mm-hmm.
Homicide equals 118. Death 118. The Outlaws, a California-based rap group whose leader was Tupac, has had most of their members die behind the number 118. The word outlaws equals 118.
Mm-hmm.
The word outlaws equals 118. Of course, Tupac died on a date with 118 date numerology. Just like you just said, Lassane Parish Crooks, that was supposedly Tupac's real name, equals 118. Edward Washington Jr. equals 118. Excuse me. Bruce Edward Washington Jr. equals 118, and Bruce is Hussein's Fatal's real name. Hussein's Fatal, who's a member of the Outlaws, his real name equals 118. And Big Psych, another member of the Outlaws, died in 2016 in Hawthorne, California. The longitude of Hawthorne is 118. On 1/18/2021, a date that can be written like 118, a rapper named Bag Chaser Kez was shot and killed. And Bag Chaser Kez equals 59. And on the same date, on 1/18/2021, another rapper died from gun violence. His name was Trouble Fam Prophet. So that's why I want the because that's why I want to add that 118 since we're talking about 118 with Takeoff.
Jonathan, somebody
Yeah,
just
so
pointed out that today's the death anniversary of Mac Dre. Am I remember this right? Was Mac Dre shot in a van?
that's right. In Kansas City. In Kansas City. Okay, I gotta look up Kansas City now.
Okay, because you were just saying that there was like a kill attempt on Migos when they were in a van, and now he's dead on the anniversary of Mac Dre, who was
That's
shot in a
crazy.
van.
Yeah, that's crazy, Zach. That's crazy. And van equals 44.
And 37, just like Georgia.
Wait a minute. That's right. Mac Dre.
Let me look this up. I want to confirm that he was killed in a van, but that's the way I
No,
remember
he
it
was
being.
killed in a van. I'm sure he was. Yeah, van. He was killed in the van, wasn't he? Yeah, yeah, he was killed in the van in a drive-by on the highway.
Yeah, here's the story right here.
Yeah.
After Hicks and the other Thiz Entertainment members had performed a show in Kansas City, Missouri on October 31st, Halloween, an unidentified gunman shot at the group's van as it traveled to U.S. Route 71 in the early morning hours, November 1st. Yeah, that's what I mean. They're always paying tribute to history.
Wow. This is mind-blowing.
I'm pretty sure Mac Dre's death is in my first book, Letters and Numbers. So,
and then, okay, think about it, right? Mac Dre from Vallejo, right? Mac Dre had all the talent. And then it's almost like what I keep saying. At the time, Mac Dre and E40 were probably like on the same level, right? So then Mac Dre goes, and what happens? E40 goes on to have an astronomical career selling liquor, food.
he's still making songs for the 49ers. I mean, just everything.
He goes on and has a huge career.
Look at this, man. Look at it. The Migos van shooting was on the 87th day of the year.
Wow.
See? And now dead 87 months after the first album came out.
Yes.
See, all this stuff is just story and narrative. It's all narrative. And it says right there, Versace trio. And Itachi pointed out that today's 900 and I forget what something about Versace and 9/11, which again is a number that goes right back to Vatican Hill. But yeah, this news broke on the 87th day of the year about their van getting shot at. And see, it just makes more and more sense. And now dead on the anniversary of Mac Dre killed in the van. I'm gonna have to go back and look at Mac Dre's death.
Mac Dre's death is real interesting.
And look at what they were on. They were on Interstate 95. Remind me, Halloween, the day. Okay, for people who don't know the history, the Jesuits. Again, we're saying the Jesuits are behind all of this, and I know we're right about that. Just like bowling alley equals Society of Jesus. But the Jesuits were created to counter the 95 Theses, and Halloween is super important to the Jesuits because the 95 Theses was posted on Halloween, where, of course, Halloween equals 95 in Gematria. Notice last night on Halloween, number 95, Myles Garrett for the Browns had the huge game. A year ago on Halloween, the Braves were beat 9-5, 9,500 days after they won the World Series in 95 in Atlanta. And they beat Houston last year, and now here we are with the World Series, and Houston's back in it, and he's from Atlanta, dead in Houston. So,
and back to the 44, Mac Dre equals 44. Mac Dre equals not only that, Mac Dre equals 44 and 37 and 118, all numbers we just finished talking about.
Mm-hmm. And
the word van equals 44.
I was just on a panel explaining this stuff to you guys, and they're like, "Oh, it sounds stupid to me. It sounds like I hate when you start talking to people about this stuff, and they're like, "Well, with numbers, you can like really find any pattern if you're just looking for it." And it's just like, dude, are we the ones killing these rappers by the same number every month? I mean, come on, man. It's that low IQ stuff that's allowing this stuff to go on, man. And again. There were 3 religious guys I was talking to yesterday, so I don't expect much from religious people. Again, to me, that's the first sign that you're really low functioning. But yeah, it gets annoying that people denounce this stuff and say, we're just looking for the patterns. I mean, come on, man. We're putting the pieces of the puzzle together here. So.
Right. This is going to be the most thorough, in-depth look at this death, uh, as the days goes by, of course we're going to find more information, but this is just fresh. Like, where else? I mean, think about it. Like, uh, they putting these numbers on them for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They got the ritual numbers. Uh, they got the ritual numbers. The word Migos is 27. Let me go back to it. I like the way Derek designed the new calculator. At first, I ain't like it, but now I'm getting used to it.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. He just I don't like how he changed the number input. I don't know why he did that. It's the third time he's done that. I don't know why he just keeps shifting the number input. And yeah, I don't know why he changed the name of Jewish gematria to Latin gematria, but it's the same cipher. So
Oh, I hadn't even noticed that yet. Huh.
yeah.
So the
The,
word
the day that happened as well, March 28th, 14, that's a date with 45 numerology. Miami's 45, hip hop's 45, rituals 45. And again, that's what these are. These are rituals.
right. Migos equals 27 and 2 out of the 4. Migos also equals 72, which is a hip hop number.
Hmm. That
The
that
word hip
song
hop equals
Versace,
72.
Versace. That song Versace has gematria of 28 and 44, like Kill, and again, Takeoff's now dead at 28. So
Right, and Takeoff equals 28.
just like
And
Rockets.
and they're saying he was the man of the group as far as the most talent. The word man equals 28, and 28's that perfect number.
Yeah.
But he was the least famous out of the group, which goes back to what I'm saying about the lesser known rapper gets killed for the bigger rapper. And
Mm,
it happened with Meek Mill and Lil Snoop. Meek Mill signed Lil Snoop. Next thing you know, he's dead, and Meek Mill's career takes off.
mhm. By the way, something else we need to confirm. Somebody left a comment earlier because I was pointing out again. Takeoff is dead on the 4-year anniversary of his album Rocket in Houston, home of the Houston Rockets. Somebody said the Rockets won their first championship 28 years ago.
Oh wow, that sounds about right.
I'm,
90,
I'm gonna I'm gonna check to see if that's true.
94, 94, or 95.
I'm gonna look right
90,
now. We'll see.
that sounds about right. When they beat the Knicks, I want to say they beat the Knicks.
They beat the Knicks in
Oh,
'94, 28 years
90.
ago.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing? And again, that's why I wish people would grasp this, and just so you can see how it's all connected. The rigged NBA, the rigged ritualistic planned murders of these entertainers, that they sync this stuff up with the next political election. I mean, it's all a script. And you start to look at who all the owners are of all these things. They all happen to be ooish. Well, we'll just say ooish, like we can't pronounce the word right for YouTube's sake. But and again, this whole practice of gematria is ooish. Here, let me just write it out to make it real clear. Let me write it out to make it real clear who I'm talking about for the person who's a little bit slow. Again, in the most simple cipher, ooish, spelled out the right way, is 74, like gematria, like killing. Again, look up that song, Gematria, the killing name, like a cult, like Masonic, like this nation's birthday, 7-4, which happens in July, holiday, you know what I mean? So English, over and over, killing 74. We remember the stabbing of Caesar, the Ides of March on the 74th day of the year. Rapper, of course, is 74. Think about Machiavelli, Tupac's alias 74. Machiavelli equals 74, just like Jesus, like cross, like Messiah,
And
like
remember,
gospel.
Oakland, California equals 74, where he recorded his first album at.
Yeah, when you use the numerology, Oakland, California, 74, absolutely. And again, when did they put out the album of Tupac on the Cross? On Remember, the 5th of November, the day that's important to the Society of Jesus, because it's Guy Fawkes Day. And what happened last year on the Jesuit Day? On the stage that looked like a big cross in Houston at the Astro World concert, you got these ritualistic deaths. So,
But no, I want to go back to the 31 in Houston. So you were saying, I was watching your stream from earlier. You were saying Quavo was 31, right?
Right, and that's the Houston
Okay,
number as we know it.
and that's the Houston number. Yep. That
Mhm.
so Quavo at 31 years old, and now let's now okay. There was a rapper named. This is a local rapper, right? His name was L Dub Workman. He was a rapper from Bryan, Texas. Local police confirmed Larry L Dub Workman, 31. He was 31 years old, was shot and killed inside of his Bryan, Texas home only hours after proposing to his fiancee. The rapper's fiance, the word fiance equals 30, and the word Bryan equals 30. Bryan is where this rapper was shot dead, which isn't too far from Houston. So, so the rapper's fiance just celebrated her 30th birthday that very evening. She was also shot, although her wounds were not life threatening. So L. Dub Workman, right, died on 11/8/2020. This date is kind of like 118, same number we've been talking about.
Mhm.
Homicide 118, death 118. Bryan is 100 miles northwest of Houston, Texas. Notice he's dead at 31. The number 31 is huge when it comes to Houston. Houston equals 31. And now I got to add,
Just to remind
uh,
people, again, we just had James Harden, George Springer, and J.J. Watt all leave Houston at age 31, and then J.J. Watt plays against his old team 31 weeks after his birthday. We kill with this number in rig sports season after season. Just in the last week alone, it came up 2 times, hitting both games. 31's a monster in Houston. I will warn you, though, it probably won't play in Thursday Night Football, though, coming up this week. But notice they got Philly and Houston playing on Thursday Night Football during the Philly Houston World Series. And we see this stuff year after year, how in one sports league, the exact teams will be playing that's the championship. In the other league, it's the same stuff year after year because it's all rigged and scripted.
right, all these players, George Springer, James Harden, J.J. Watt, all left Houston, and they were all 31 years old when they left. And Watt left on March 1st, kind of like 3-1, and he got a $31 million deal.
Okay, I got to put this up on the screen. So if you write out Houston, Texas, it equals 46 forwards, 62 in reverse. Simple Truth TV, Arthur, who also knows a lot about hip hop, he said Takeoff died 46 days after Metro Boomin's birthday and 62 months after Bad and Bougie released the song he was left off from back in 2017. Um,
Yeah, what happened was they made it a big deal, and I'm glad Arthur pointed that out. They made a big deal that he wasn't on the song. The song was a number one hit. The song hit the top of the 200 Billboard chart. I mean, well, who cares if whether he was on the song or not? The song was still a number one hit of a group that he's a member of. But they
hmm.
try to make it a big deal that he wasn't on the song.
Huh. Okay. But yeah. So is Metro Boomin, is he in Houston as well?
No, Metro Boomin is an Atlanta producer,
Oh, he's
but
Atlanta also. Okay.
he's produced a lot of the trap sound coming out of Atlanta. He produced a lot of tracks for the Migos, Young Thug. Um, oh, that's what you were talking about earlier about didn't Young Thug's baby mama die at some bowling alley?
That's who it was. Yep, that's who it was. And for
The-
people who are new here, Genesis 46 begins with a sacrifice. Sacrifice is 46 in the same cipher as Houston, Texas, and 62 also in the same cipher as Houston, Texas. So those are sacrifice numbers as well. And again, Genesis is ooish.
And if I'm not mistaken, something happened to Metro Boomin's mom recently, and um, it's the same story with Kanye. Like his mom dies, now he gets an extra boost in fame, and even Larry Johnson admitted it on this very channel
Mm-hmm.
that Kanye sacrificed his mama.
Well,
I mean,
he said that was his speculation. That's what he felt happened at
that's
the
what
time.
I mean. There's no way to really know, right? There's no way to really that we can prove it, but
Right. Jonathan, by the way, I don't know if you can twist your camera a little bit, but your blue thing's kind of blocking out your face. If somebody could lower your camera, if not,
Oh,
it's not a
okay.
big deal.
Yeah, okay. I got this thing here.
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Yeah. So that now check this out, right? Now we talked about Miami, right? And we talked about Houston. So the original murder attempt on the Migos was in Miami, and then Takeoff dies in Houston. Now, if you look at the order of the way that the biggest rappers ever died, one thing I noticed was that um, DJ Screw, and if I'm not mistaken, DJ Screw was 31 when he died. DJ Screw, who invented the chopped and screwed music, right? He invented a whole new sound by slowing down the music. DJ Screw dies, and then the next big DJ to die was DJ Uncle Lau, and DJ Uncle Lau was with the Sugar Hill DJs in Miami, and he did the complete opposite. They sped up the music. Like it's these DJs are both of these DJs are probably the most important DJs ever. Because they created brand new sounds. DJ Screw slowed down the music, which is what we call chopped and screwed, and that's what a lot of the Houston hip hop is known for. Uncle Al sped the music up, and they both die back to back. DJ Screw dies. Um, Supposedly they said cardiac arrest. Supposedly they said it was drinking too much codeine. That's what they said. And then DJ Uncle Al died on 9/10/2001, the day before 9/11. And at the time it was like, people in Miami thought the world was ending. We just lost our because DJ. First of all, Uncle Al had the real talent. He should be where Khaled is at today, right? Because there's no way that Khaled should be where he's at, and he's trying to claim Miami. He's not even from Miami. He was born in New Orleans, and then he spent a long time in Orlando. But he's trying to claim Miami, and DJ Uncle Lau, who's originally from Miami, who was the one with the real talent, who created a whole new lane, is the one that should be getting the credit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So people in Miami are going crazy. Can you imagine? First, Uncle Lau dies, right? Then the next day is, of course, 9/11/2001.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody in the chat just wrote the name Pimp C. Of course, he died on Jay-Z's birthday at age 33. And he, probably his biggest song is because he collaborated with Jay-Z. So it wasn't hard to see what happened there.
Yeah. And then if you go down a list just a little bit, right? The 25th rapper, Big Hawk, right? A
Wait,
rapper
what
from
list should I be going down? What list?
no, the list that I'm right the list, because I'm writing a new book and I'm putting all the biggest rappers that died in order. But I haven't sent you the list yet.
Okay. Again, you
But
guys, Jonathan's book's going to finish soon. It's called 38 Special. So when it's done, make sure you check it out. Are you putting your actual name on the book?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, we'll be sure to promote it when it's out.
but it's just the order, because I didn't notice this until because I wrote down the list first and then I started noticing some things. So like I said, two of the biggest DJs died back to back. And then if you go down a little bit to the list, number 25 on the list, this might change a little bit because I got to add a few more people. But for now, number 25 on the list is Big Hawk, a rapper from Houston. The next rapper that dies is Big Mo, a rapper from Houston. The next rapper that dies is Pimp C, a rapper from Port Arthur, not too far from Houston. So
Mm-hmm.
you got three Texas rappers in a row: 25, 26, and 27. Big Hawk, Big Mo, and Pimp C. Then
Nice.
after that, now
Complete.
look at this. Now you can't tell me this ain't a coincidence, right? Just notice the patterns, right? Right after Pimp C, number 28, VL Mike, a rapper from New Orleans. VL Mike. Right after that, Magnolia Shorty, another rapper from New Orleans. You can't tell me that's not a coincidence. Like, I now I can understand a rapper being killed on the West Coast, and you got to realize back then that these rappers weren't dropping dead like they are now. But I could see a rapper from the West Coast, and then maybe one from down south, and then another one from the East Coast. But for them to be dying in order from where they're from is a pattern.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. It's just like when you're watching a movie about a serial killer. The detectives are looking and they're saying, well, wait a minute. Look at how all these bodies are around this point right here. And then they say, well, what would be the motive? And again, we know what the motive is in the record industry. When these people die, there's a lot more records that get sold. It's money. So.
Okay, so now back to my point. Now watch this. When you go to number 61, this is tentatively, the number might change, right? Jimmy Wapo, a rapper from Pittsburgh, right? Dies, shot and killed. And I remember we covered this. The next rapper, Mac Miller, another rapper from Pittsburgh. So 2 in a row, big like that. Jimmy Wapo, Mac Miller.
I don't know if you're reading the chat. Somebody just said, what about Mac Miller? For the person who said, what about Mac Miller? He died on September 7th, which is the day in history that Tupac was shot. And if I remember right, that was the same day. It was also Eazy-E's birthday in history, but that was the same day that the Kevin Durant and LeBron James song came out, It Ain't Easy. And then I believe Cardi B and another one of the female rappers got in a fight that day. But there was like a whole bunch of hip hop news on that day. But again, Mac Miller's birth name equals 79. September 7th can be written 7-9. And murder equals 79. The word death is also 97. So you can understand why Tupac got shot on that day. But Mac Miller, again, he died on a very appropriate day. And I covered that in a big way when that happened. I want to say that was 2019, if I remember right. Yeah, it was. It was 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
And it was all synced up with his ex-girlfriend, Ariana Grande. And then the whole Pete Davidson thing, it's like Pete Davidson got famous off that because then she started dating him. And it was all synced up. It was a big old ritual. But essentially, he died on a very appropriate day, but also a day that's just fateful in hip-hop history, the day that Tupac was shot. And again, Eazy-E's birthday. And again, Eazy-E's death is synced up with Ice Cube's Lethal Injection album and yada, yada, yada. So.
Yes. And then you go down the list a little further, and then you got Fred the Godson, a rapper from New York. The next rapper that dies is Pop Smoke, another rapper from New York. And then if you continue, then you got FBG Duck, and then after that, King Von, right? 2 big rappers from Chicago, back to back. Technically, it's FBG Duck.
Remember, yeah. FBG Duck was shot on Obama's birthday, right? Number 44, and they said at 4:40 p.m. And then King Von, we saw his death coming a mile away. We called that out in March before his death by the numbers. And what was it? November 6th, he died.
Yeah, we called that. That was an obvious one, though. That
because we saw how his album was synced up with the Lakers championship, which we knew was coming. And then when he died, it was all synced up with LeBron in that championship. So.
Even this Takeoff one was kind of predictable, because I don't know if anybody remembers, but 3 or 4 years ago there was a rumor that Takeoff died, and it just came and went. And then he's on Drink Champs talking about how he wants his flowers before he goes. And then Nori's asking him about, are you scared to be a rapper? Oh no, we got a lot of guns, we got a lot of security.
And then he gets shot by his own security.
By his own security, right? Which doesn't make any sense. Like somebody tried to get him in Miami, they couldn't get him. Then somebody tried to get up, and this was in 2014. Somebody tries to get Offset in 2019, but now he dies by the hands of his own security, and it don't even look real.
It doesn't. That picture does not look real.
It doesn't look real at all. Like, and it's always the same shit. It's like this shit ain't even like halfway believable at all. Like
it's getting me with the ads. I'm trying to get this ad out of the way so I can put it back up here.
But what I was gonna say about FBG Duck is FBG Duck, then MF Doom, then King Von. But remember, they didn't tell us about MF Doom until the end of the year. but MF Doom died on Halloween 2 years ago.
And at
Eh,
the end of the year of the mask, right? Everybody with the mask mandates, and then dies on Halloween, a day of masks, but they don't release the news until New Year's Eve. I mean, come on.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Remember the last rapper that died in Houston was Snooty Wild.
Okay.
That was not the last one, but the last, famous one.
Mhm. That wasn't that long ago.
That
That was
that was
February 26th.
that was this year, I think.
Mhm. Mhm. And now that I go back and look at it, he died on a date with 70 numerology. Astros is 70, right? And he died on the 57th day of the year, and World Series is 57. Looking at that in hindsight, I'm thinking that was probably a sacrifice for the Astros to go back to the World Series.
Huh. Huh. Okay, and just to end my point is after Snooty Wild, then you get Baby Cino, a rapper from Miami, and then after that you got Wavy Navy Pool, another rapper from Miami. So two back-to-back rappers from Miami. In between that, you got DJ K Slay.
I got to say one more
Eh,
thing about Snooty Wild. I just made the
Yeah.
point about the World Series. He was born on the 113th day of the year. When Houston won the World Series the other year, that was the 113th World Series. And this year, when they made it to the World Series, it was their 113th win of the season, regular season and postseason, put them in the World Series. So I'm pretty sure that this young guy was sacrificed for the Astros World Series.
You think Snooty Wild and Takeoff, or just
Well, I mean,
it could be
Takeoff
both,
said
huh?
in Houston while the World Series is going on. So I would say that, yeah, that's probably also definitely connected. And remember last
Eh,
year, Houston loses the World Series, right? Then days later, you have the Astro World tragedy. And then right after that, UB40 singer Astro dies. So it's like, come on, man.
Right. And I'm pretty sure um, Travis Scott and Migos got songs. Matter of fact, Travis Scott and Quavo got an album together. Yep. Let me verify that.
They have a song,
No,
Give.
they got a whole album together, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm gonna verify that right now.
Yeah. When I just searched for it, oh, they got several songs actually. Migos featuring Travis Scott. Speaking of the devil, they got another one, Give No Fuck.
Eh,
Diamonds.
yeah. It's called Huncho Jack. It's called Huncho Jack. It's a whole album. Hunt,
Huncho Jack. Okay.
and that's yep. It's a studio. It's the debut studio album. Oh, that matter of fact, they're a duo. Look at this. They're a duo. Look, is the debut studio album by hip hop duo Huncho Jack, which consists of Travis Scott and Quavo of the Migos.
Hmm.
The album was released on December 21st, 2017.
Okay. Yeah. And again, Travis Scott's the Houston rapper. So okay.
And we're coming up on the anniversary of the Astro World.
Yeah. Yeah. Something else. What's the other record label that has all the dead rappers connected to it in recent times?
Empire.
Empire. That's right. Okay. Who's Travis Scott with?
Travis Scott he's been with several rappers. Travis Scott is with Empire? No. He's with
Epic. Epic.
Epic. He's been with a lot of labels. Hold on, let me see. That's crazy that they got a relationship like that. And then let me tell you about Sauce Walker, right? So Sauce Walker is another rapper from Houston.
Okay.
And this how they kicked me off of Instagram, right? So he had on a chain, and on the chain it said 102. So all I did was I put in the comments, I put slavery equals 102, nigger equals 102.
That's
That's
why
all
they
I
kicked you
put.
off.
That's all I put in the comments. Actual fact. So this is not speculation. I'm putting actual facts. That's all I put in the comment. That's all I put. 102. They said they kicked me off for some kind of bad language or something. Oh, inoffensive racial something. I'm like, this is an actual fact. And they kicked me off Instagram for that. It's not like I give a fuck, but I'm just saying, like, you're kicking me off for something that's an actual fact. There's not any kind of rumor or I'm not speculating on anything.
It's just
If
all
you
these
put the
AI
words in the
bots, just the
calculator, that's
auto
what it
detect
equals.
stuff. Yeah, that's what's annoying about
Uh,
having AI censor everything. It's like it's not looking at the context of the comment. And you know what? I never voted in any of these elections because they're all rigged. But you know what would make me go out and vote for somebody if they came and said they're going to shut down big tech censorship and all this AI automation of everything? It's the worst thing going. It's even worse than the murder of these rappers, man. But
yeah, it's fucked up. Like, come on. Like, I'm not. What am I saying that's inoffensive? I'm saying actual facts. I'm putting an actual fact in the comment, and you're saying, and they kicked me off Instagram. I've been off Instagram for like 2 months now. They kicked me off. That's it.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, this is bullshit. I like,
It
yes,
is. It is. And again, it's like the reality is, you know, at the top of all these companies, the people happen to be ooish, and then they control the media, and then they got everybody going, oh my God, Kanye West said ooish people are taking black people's money, which is a fact. And then meanwhile, these same ooish people, they're offing young black people. And if you bring that up, that's also anti-Semitic. It's like, again, people need to pull their head out of their ass and recognize what's going on. Who runs all these pharmaceutical companies that has everybody addicted to drugs? Oh, they just all happen to be owned by ooish people. Who made Monsanto, the most toxic company in the history of the world? Oh, an ooish family. Again. And again, we do talk about the Jesuits, but you know who the Jesuits are? A bunch of ooish people that converted to Catholicism. So at the end of the day, it's all ooish.
a lot of that shit Kanye was saying is the truth. And then Nori's such an ass kisser. He comes out days later saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. I should have checked them, and I should have." I mean, what's the point? What happened to freedom of speech? Like, you know, Kanye's gonna talk shit. So you know what? You know what I mean? Even though he's a pawn as well, but you know Kanye's outspoken. You know what's gonna. You know what you're gonna get. And now a few days later, because see, that's the thing. It's like Nori's making so much money now. They told him now you gotta apologize. How are you apologizing for what another man has to say? You see what I'm saying? That's bullshit. Like, but we don't know. Nori's got bills to pay. Nori's got bill. You know what I'm saying? This is the most money Noriega ever made. He didn't make no money in fucking rapping.
He made some money, man. He had some
He
big
made
songs.
okay. He made some money, but he wasn't like he's not making the money he's making now. Because if you look at his numbers, he probably made a million or he's probably made a million or not even maybe $2 million in his rap career.
He got to make more than that. You
More
would
than
think
that,
he
you
made
think
more than
so?
that. I would think
I
he
don't
made more than
know.
that. He had some
I
big
don't know.
songs.
If you look at Nori's net worth, it's not more than $1 million.
Well, that's
Eh,
what Kanye was talking about with all the
eh,
ooish people around,
all
siphoning
those
all
hits,
the.
and you're right though. Okay, look at all the hits Nori had. He had hit after hit after hit. He had 5 gold albums, back to back 5 gold albums. Meaning, and then I think one of them went platinum. And then the Capone and Noriega albums, they all went gold and platinum. He worth 2 million. Okay, if you look at Nori's net worth, he's worth 2 million.
He got to be worth more than that.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
he's
Like
worth Noriega, if you're out there
Nori's
watching,
only
hey,
worth $2 million.
if you only have $2 million after your music career, you've done a bad job managing your money. So
He was getting raped. He was getting raped. He was probably getting maybe 12 cents off each CD. Who knows? He had a bad contract. He was signed with well, who was he signed with? Tommy Boy? He or was it was another label though.
he had big songs for like 10 years straight. He should
Yeah,
have
he
more
had
money.
huge songs. Super Thug, Oh No. Um
His last big song that got like the music video was nothing, but before, his first big song was just the one that was just Nore.
yep, yep,
So
yep. So okay, so like a lot of that shit, Kanye's full of shit, but a lot of that shit he was saying is true. I mean, but I don't know, like, what was he? I don't know what he was trying to prove, or if they told him to do that. He's his own. I don't know. I don't think he's his own man at all. He I don't know. And then they make it seem like he lost all his money because you can't say nothing about these people. And I don't know about Kanye. I mean, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah. I mean, Kanye's probably just doing what he's told. It's disappointing to see Noriega get on his knees and become such an ass kisser because
exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, you're only worth. So you got pimped in the music industry. Now you're letting because now you're letting this revolt television people tell you what to do. He's the one who spilled the beans. Remember, he said there's only two ways you could go. So now you're apologizing for another man's comments. That's disgusting. I'm more disappointed in Nori than Kanye.
Mhm. Yeah, oh, I am too because he was speaking out in a real way, and now he's like the biggest ass kisser out there right now. So,
And then what you call it? And then DJ EFN don't even check him. This supposed to be his co-host. Like what's the point of having a co-host? He does nothing. Like DJ EFN should be checking Nori, but they're all getting paid. And what's going on? Okay, DMX he shows up on Drink Champs. Next thing you know, he's dead. I mean not Quavo. Takeoff shows up on Drink Champs. Next thing you know, he's dead. Kanye does an interview on Drink Champs. Now he's canceled. Like, what's up with this Drink Champs shit?
I've honestly
What?
never watched an episode of Drink Champs, so I can't speak on it.
Yeah, it's something weird going on over there. And then he never asked the right questions. Like he never asked the right questions. Like he had Birdman on there once. It's like, why don't you ask the right questions? What happened to all these people that died on your label?
Hmm.
What happened to Pimp Daddy? What happened to Magnolia Shorty? What happened to BTY Youngin? What happened to these people? What happened to Young Greatness? What I want to know. What happened to all these people? Why BJ been in prison for almost 15 years?
Indeed, indeed.
He never asked the right questions. Soldier Slim. Well, Soldier Slim was on Cash Money too.
He was on No Limit Records at first. He probably went up to Cash Money. They're both in New Orleans. So,
But I mean, I could go on and on about Cash Money, but that's the thing. It's like I heard Nori saying that he's like going to school for journalism and how to become an interview, and he's studying it, but he's not asking the right questions. Like a good investigative journalist is supposed to ask the proper questions, and he's not doing that. He's just sitting there taking shots, smoking weed. It's all a big party for him. Like
for sure. And
you
well,
know what I'm
hey,
saying?
it's working, right? It's a working formula. And again, you dumb it down, you'll have a bigger audience in this world. Plus, nobody wants investigative journalism anymore. You do investigative journalism, you'll find all the things you're not supposed to talk about. So,
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
hmm hmm
And then of course we have Go New, that rapper from Baltimore that
oh yeah, that they put up on the stage with its
put up
dead
on the
body.
stage. That's probably the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. They
Indeed.
put his body up on the stage. I don't know if they killed him. I don't know why you would even do that. Like, why would you have a? And who signed off for this? I'm sure his mama ain't signed off on that.
Right.
Like on
Jonathan,
it.
I gotta be. I have to hit the road in about 30 minutes because I have to drive an hour to pick Sweet Lady up. But
Okay.
do you want to open up the stream to more people in case anybody has any more information to add on top of anything they heard?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm done. I
Well,
mean, not all the way
Jonathan, you
done, but
done, but
yeah,
we might just get
yeah.
some people on here who got some
Let's hear some
observations.
other opinions. Yeah.
Okay. You guys, I'm gonna post it in the stream right now. So pay attention. The link's about to come up in the stream, and we are streaming on 3 different channels. It should show up in all 3 channels.
I'm gonna take a mini break. I'll be right back.
Okay, but yeah, if you guys want to get on here again, if you get on here, make sure you talk about the subject matter at hand. We're talking about dead entertainers. If you it can't expand beyond hip hop stars. There's a lot of dead entertainers. Hold on, it gave me some error message when I tried to post the link. Let me post it again, but the link should be showing up. And yeah, if you guys want to hop on, all you got to do is click that link. If you want to put your face on the screen, it's up to you, but you definitely got to open up your mic. Otherwise, we won't hear you. And make sure if you come on, you close the YouTube video that you're watching. Otherwise, we're going to be getting feedback. Again, once you're in the studio, once you click that link, like we just had the Gibson jump in here. I'm about to put the Gibson on. The Gibson, if your YouTube video's up, make sure you close that. Otherwise, we'll be getting feedback. Because once you're in the studio, you'll hear everything live. So you don't need the YouTube video playing. All right, what's up? The Gibson, you're on.
Hey y'all, I just wanted to tell y'all that y'all was right, man. I just respect the research. I've been rocking with your channel for some years now. And you just helped me confirm a lot of the research that I've been looking to. Um to go with y'all point about the Kanye stuff, man, that dude is controlled opposition, man. He says a lot of stuff that we resonate with and that we agree with, but he's not the messenger, like he's out there, he's just a puppet. And he also just apologized like Nori did. He literally just apologized to the
It's like Nick Cannon.
community.
They did that with Nick Cannon too.
Yep. It's almost like they take them into like some weird MK Ultra place and rewrite their minds and stuff, and then bring them right back out to the public. It's insane. But yeah, man, I just resonate with the work. You guys are absolutely correct about all this stuff. The world's a stage, man. I've had my friends try to ask me what side of this stuff I'm on. I always tell them like I'm not on any side. I'm not with none of this stuff. All this stuff is written down by the numbers, is engineered. You know exactly what time it is. You know what type of plan they're moving on, from the movies to everything. And it's really no way for you to try to step into that industry where they're not going to try to play with the numbers on your own life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate your support and your message and you coming on and saying that. And I agree. Again, they brought Kanye out to do this whole thing so they could shame him and take away all his money and say, see, you talk against the ooish people, you'll lose everything and you'll be on your knees apologizing and begging to get back in. And that's what they want people to see. And the sad thing is too many people will follow that exact thing. I mean, I just look at all the people on YouTube who censor themselves now. They just make it all about the dollar. Again, we can't censor ourselves. At the end of the day, I know we all got to pay the bills, but if you have to censor yourself and mute the truth to keep your revenue coming in, you're doing the wrong job. So that's all I got to say about that.
Is there one more thing I could say to this?
Go ahead.
Your research, I think, is really important, just for the community in general, and by community I just mean like the human community. I want to say though, I think that what I've come to in just learning about a lot of this stuff, I've realized that gematria is writ in so much of like our lives. I feel like it's not really something that these people necessarily created, but it's something they put a label on. Like something that's writ in the fabric of our universe that they slapped the label on, like time. You know what I'm saying? Like or any of those various things, and they use it against us. So you know how you guys you showed us ways to utilize it for like sports betting and stuff. We shouldn't be living in fear because of how they spell cast with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like we should totally utilize their little magic or whatever it is against them. It's like this is a war, it's spiritual warfare. You know what it is, man.
I agree. And that's what we're doing over here. All right. Appreciate it, the Gibson. Thank you.
One.
All right, man. You have a good one. All right, I got to let Knowledge for Ignorance get on here. Here's our resident truth seeker rapper. What's up, Knowledge for Ignorance?
Hey, what's going on, Zach? Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
I just wanted to add something. I don't know because I was on the road, but just to add something else to the Takeoff story. We know one of the numbers for his name is 64, and if you've seen any of the police footage that was outside the bowling alley, you have like 3 or 4 police cars where you just see the typical 911 on it, but the one in the center on the top of the hood, man, is 64.
We've seen it so many times, man.
Yeah,
That's so many times.
Yeah, and the other thing that I just wanted to say, I just wanted to like kind of promote some of my music. I just put out a new EP this past Saturday, and I put out 5 songs. It's actually on my YouTube page, but 2 of the songs I'm actually speaking about the knowledge of gematria. On the first song, it's called "I've Been Doing This," and on the last song, it's called "Script." So if anybody in the community have a chance to get those a listen, and if you're feeling it, if you can share it, because I'm always doing my post, I do my Instagram. I mean, I do decodes on my Instagram. So what I did this morning, my coworker had told me that Takeoff had died. So I pour it out, go to the GematriaEffectNews calculator. I just type in his name. I'm like, bro, right here it says enough. So what I did, I took a couple snippets off of 2 of the songs where I'm talking about Gematria and kind of added it with my Instagram post on his death. Yeah, so I just wanted to bring up that 64 that was on top of the cop car, which correlates with his name equaling 64. And I just wanted to talk about the new project. And like I said, I'm just a father of 3 who works full time. Me and my best friend, we run a basketball training organization. And outside of that, bro, I be doing decodes on my Instagram and making, truth music that's motivational and informational. So I'm just wishing more people to give me a listen. And I get it. People, what I'm saying, be like into the stereotypical thing. So I just turned 47 on the 1st of October. And I only been doing this music for like 4 years, but it's something that I was overlooking because, growing up, I was just pursuing sports. I played basketball, I played in college and stuff like that. But my second closest friend, who passed in 2016, he always seen the gift I had with it. But like I said, I always overlooked it. So now I just use it for information. So it's not like I'm trying to get in the industry and all that. I just make music that I feel is quality, it's info based, and it's motivational. So if you guys can give that my thoughts project, what I'm saying, a listen at least once, you'll kind of see where I'm coming from. Just don't overlook me because you see this great beard. Don't let this beard fool you. You know what I mean? And it's the thing with music. They try to get the people that's young because they can mold them more. But like I said, the older you get, you learn more. So like I said, if y'all can just give me a listen, like I said, besides me doing decodes, I'm putting Gematria in the music now. So if you guys can just share that, I'll appreciate it. So that's all I want to say.
Okay, I got your Twitter up here, and it looks like if you go to your Twitter, it links to your Instagram page.
Yeah, my Instagram is knowledge for ignorance, is knowledge for ignorance too. I had put a link of it in the chat too.
All right, I missed it when you posted it last time, but I got your Twitter up here on the screen so everyone can see it.
Okay.
Keon Reed at knowledge for ignorance on Instagram, right? That's it.
Yeah, but my 5-song EP is actually on my YouTube under the same under knowledge.
Oh, YouTube, yeah, because that's what that's what I gotta use, YouTube. Okay.
Yeah.
They kicked me off Instagram. But okay.
And one more thing, Zach, because it was a guy in the chat. His name is J.R. Ryder. He was asking how could stuff be predicted, and I'm gonna tell you like this, like the first thing I gravitated to what was the sports and the rapper does, because that was the first thing that was popping up on my timeline. But once I start like giving this information out to family members and all that, my mother, it really took it for my mother to say something for me to be like, okay, I'm starting, what I'm saying, at the base level of just dealing with a couple of deaths. And that kind of come out more because my mom was like, well, let me ask, what is this doing for you? I'm like, man, this giving me peace of mind. Like I know, like, even if they are taking these people out, it's not how they're saying this did, and it's all scripted by numbers and stuff. So my mother actually helped me get better than just dealing with the death side. So I started, just dealing with like even a good story, or I just give you an example. I just give you one example. Like last spring when Gonzaga suspended John Stockton. So
Right.
I did that post because the post they had this man sitting between the fifth and sixth chair
Yep.
in the arena. I'm like, how do you do that and center it? But I tied in the coronavirus. So my mother started helping me to expand showing Gematria without it being morbid with just the deaf side. But what I was saying about the guy that's just coming into this information in the chat, J.R. Ryder, he was asking, how could you predict stuff? Well, I know it's morbid, but when the PNB rock guy passed in September, me and my girlfriend, we had been out all day. So I get home, sit on the bed, and my phone is jumping off the hook like I'm looking, and I really don't get too many hits off Twitter, but I'm getting all these likes and like, man, you caught. I'm like, caught. Well, I opened the phone. I was like, dang, PNB Rock died. Now, grant you, I don't listen to his music, but I'm familiar who he is. But if you can on my YouTube, I mean on my Instagram, I did a decode on this man December 11th of last year, just off of a World Star posting of him and his friends shooting dice, which is ironic dealing with the Takeoff story today. But PNB Rock and his friends were shooting dice, and one of his friends stepped on the blunt they were smoking, so they was making fun of the smash blunt. But what drew my attention was that 5-star David ring he had on. So I poured it out of Instagram, went and seen. I'm like, wow, this the same ring like Pop Smoke, Tupac, Mo3 or whatever. Then I realized I'm like, he on Empire Records too. So then I just started running his name, and pretty much the decode that I did lined up with what happened to him like 11 months later. So I just leave it at that.
All right. Well, I appreciate that information. And again, knowledge for ignorance, you guys. He is our resident rapper. His music's very good. Check out his YouTube channel. And thanks for coming on today, friend.
Yep, I appreciate it. Like I said, it's very ear friendly. Of course I do cuss, but I don't cuss in my music on purpose. I just want people to get the message and stuff like that. So yep, I just put the project out a week ago. So I appreciate if you guys tune in. Like I said, I'm specifically talking about Gematria on I've Been Doing This and on the song Script. And thanks again for having me, Zach.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah, right. Thanks for spreading the work in your music. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, you have a great day.
Peace out. All right, you too.
All right. What's up, friend?
What's up? Now go look at the Migos' last album. Well, just Takeoff and Quavo, because Offset supposedly not with them. Go look at Only Built for Infinity Links. Go look at the album cover real quick. I want to show y'all something.
Okay, Migos Only Built for what?
Infinity Links. It just came out like 3 weeks ago.
And I understand it's a playoff Only Built for Cuban Links, which was an album that came out in the 90s with Raekwon and Ghostface Killer.
Mm-hmm. What is Quavo doing over Takeoff head?
He's got the bullet. He's shooting the gun.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I wanted to say, fellas.
Yeah, good observation.
Yeah,
indeed.
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
All right, great eyes. Appreciate that.
But I'm here in Detroit, Michigan, man. Y'all boys take care.
Come out next time. I was in Detroit recently, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, for sure.
Take care, man.
Take care.
All right, we got Cam Newton with a different spelling. What's up, Cam Newton? Cam Newton?
Hey, you see that about how he's shooting over over the other Migo with the gun?
Uh-huh.
Just look at the cover of the album, Only Built for Infinity Links. But I got to put that in the Gematriator. I want to see what that means, what that stands for. Only Built.
I wonder, last night was the concluding game of NFL Week 8 as well, right? And the game started off 8-0. And I wonder if there's just something, because infinity is a lot like 8. There could be some kind of connection with that. All right, looks like Cam Newton's on the super mute. Let's go out to Tony. What's up, Tony?
What's up, Zach? What's up, Jonathan?
What's up?
How you doing, man?
I got some quick points I want to make.
Okay.
You know the rap snacks, right?
Yeah.
The chips, right?
Yep.
Zach, can you pull up the Migos snack cover? The potato chips?
These chips. It's just these chips that they sell at the gas stations with rappers' faces on them.
Yeah, I want you to pull up that cover, and I want to see what y'all noticed in the rap chip cover.
Okay.
I didn't know this existed. Okay.
But they mainly sell it in the hood.
And tell me what you see. Zoom in on it, the Migos one, and zoom on it, and tell me what you notice.
Let me see. I'm trying to see. It's kind of far away. Hold on.
For some reason, it won't let me scroll down. Come on, man. Let me try this again here. Hold up.
If you zoom in on it, I'm gonna let you know why you zoom on it. Offset looking at his watch, Quavo looking at his watch. The only person not looking at his watch is Takeoff, because his time is up.
Yeah. All right, hold on. I gotta get a better picture of this because I can't scroll down on that. For some reason.
Good observation.
That's crazy.
Y'all see it?
I'm trying to pull it up on my own. Hold on.
Do you see it, Zach?
I can see it, but I'm trying to get a bigger picture for everybody else to see it because the one that I had pulled up, it won't let me zoom in on
Rap snack Migos.
It looks pretty good on screen, Zach.
I
Offset
get a closer
showing his
look at it.
watch, Quavo looking at his watch, and the only one who's not looking at his watch is Takeoff.
Wait a minute.
So I mean, his time is up. I don't know how long this chip's been out with this cover on it.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah.
You see both of the other two looking at their watch. Why he's not looking at the watch? Why not he looking at his watch?
Right.
And remember that Takeoff is like the least known member of the group. The Offset and Quavo got a lot of fame. You know about their relationships. Like Quavo was with Sweetie, and Offset's with Cardi B. So you know all about their personal life, but you don't know who's Takeoff's girlfriend is or was. They never really put his business out there. They always made him like the least known member. So one of
my bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Zach.
I was gonna say he did just have a domestic violence case in the news a few weeks before
That's right.
happened. He did. I mean, and that's besides that, you are right though. There's not too much relationship news we ever really heard from Takeoff. We never really even seen him with any.
Just thinking about, I never heard of that album called The Last Rocket. Think about it. He named the album The Last Rocket, and he died in Houston Rocket. As God done, Quavo is 31 years old, and you done broke down the 31s in Houston.
Yes.
That's why everybody who trolls me every day, I guarantee they're from the Russian troll factory, and they're just mad that I exposed exactly what's going on in this world. So
it's also 322 days after Offset's birthday as well, which is
yes, it is. It is. Yes, indeed.
And it was one more thing I wanted to say about this Takeoff thing. Takeoff is like NASA, right?
Right.
So, like NASA, right? Taking off, right?
Yeah, that's the point of the album name. Yep.
Yeah.
And another thing, as y'all look at the pictures of the bowling alley, where's the dice at? It was a dice game. I don't see no dice in no pictures. Where they were playing dice where his body was laying at? Where they were playing dice at?
Exactly. It's all bullshit. It's all like what exactly. They never show, they'll say one thing and then people will just run with it.
Yeah, that story is very
so where's the dice at? It should be dice on the front. It should be money on the place or over the place. I don't see no money. I don't see no dice in no pictures of what they have shown. And in the videos they show. And what Quavo got on red? He got on red.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, another great observation. That's why I love hearing from the community, because everybody's got different eyes on these things. And yeah, that is interesting. So
what's the name of that?
His time is up, right?
Red. Wait, hold on. You said Red. What's the name of that Offset album? Man, it's called Red Song.
Oh, he has a song called Red Room or some shit.
Red Room. That's the name of Offset's solo album, ain't it? Hold on, let me look that up.
Well, Red Room's kind of like Red Rum, like murder backwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't that come out this year, like early this year?
Hold on. Let me see. Red.
And plus, Offset was dressed like the Joker for Halloween.
He's got a song called Red Room, Offset. But I'm trying to see if the name of the album is. He's got a song called Red Room for sure. The name of the album is called Father of Four. Father of Four. And we talk about how 4 is associated with death. Offset's solo album is called Father of Four. And we already talked about how 4 is so big with this.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan, did you talk about how Jay Prince was with them? Remember that jeweler from Chicago that got shot? Wasn't Jay Prince and Boosie there? Why is Jay Prince's son always involved? You see who they go to the gatekeepers, right? You notice that, right?
Yeah, Duke the jeweler, yeah. Right, like
who was there? Jay Prince's son was there. Jay Prince's son was at this one too,
he's
right?
always in the mix of something. And how does somebody like him find Drake, like the biggest rapper in the last 10 years? This motherfucker happened to find him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's always in the middle of something. Yeah.
Because didn't they say he was there, right? Didn't they say his son was there? Jay, I want to say that. I'm not sure.
When Duke the jeweler got killed, they say Jazz Prince was there. Now, Takeoff dead. It was Jazz Prince's party. And
it was Jazz Prince's birthday yesterday. I forgot. His birthday's on Halloween. I forgot that.
Jazz Prince's birthday yesterday was his party. And check this out. So it's Jazz Prince's birthday party on Halloween. He invites the Migos, right? Mm-hmm. He invites the Migos to his party. And then guess what happened? There's a video out here where he just walks right by Takeoff's body and they're asking him, they're like, hey, what's going on? He's like, oh, don't ask me about that shit. So first of all,
What?
your homeboy's dead on the ground. Your homeboy's dead on the ground, and you're saying, don't ask me about that shit. Like you don't give a fuck, and you're the one who invited him to the party.
Wow. I didn't see that video.
Here, I didn't realize that Jazz Prince's birthday was on Halloween, but again, I just want people to understand the relevance of these gematria ciphers that we teach. Look at Jazz Prince's name, Jazz Prince, and Halloween. They're the exact same in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. And again, you're watching football last night. Myles Garrett, number 95, is tearing it up. Who's dead on Halloween? Mike Zimmer's son, who's dead exactly 148 days after his birthday.
And his son coached for the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. And the Minnesota Vikings is the purple team.
And the Vikings just became 6-1, established in 1961, and Halloween leaves 61 days left in the year. But Halloween and Jazz Prince, exact same in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. Again, that's the day in history that the 95 Theses was posted, the day that we now call Halloween. And we're telling you, it's the Jesuits behind all this stuff. It makes me wonder if that's even like Jazz Prince's real birthday, or if that's just all part of his character name and script, because a lot of these guys just got it so perfect.
But guess what? Red rum equals 38.
What?
Red room, excuse
murder
me.
backwards.
Red room equals 38.
38.
Red room. Yeah, and 43.
Oh,
and
like
RIP is 43.
Red room is even that way.
Red room. It's in reverse equals 38.
Yeah.
And that's the name of the lead single from Offset's solo album called Father of Four.
Yeah. 88 like rapper as well. So.
See, this is the more you look, then the more you learn.
Exactly. And then you got to forget about, remember Mo 3, right? Mo 3. I know that's different, but it's like
Mo 3 is big. Yeah, that was big.
That was Boosie involved.
And then you say something about 322 days. The Offset solo album was released on February 22nd, 222.
Wow. There's a 333.
No, not a 3. It's well, I thought it was 3
2s.
It's 3 2s, yeah.
No, I was saying for a 333 connection, it's 333 days after Lil Baby's birthday, and they had, they're both with QC, but then there was the beef between Lil Baby and the Migos. So all these guys have real connections with this date. It's crazy. Like everybody that's connected to the Migos, like they have connections between their birthdays. Even CEOP, his birthday was 153 days after this happened. It's just all these significant numbers with all these guys' birthdays. It's crazy how it's all lined up.
Jonathan, it gonna be some more name rappers die for this year over with. Takeoff he might be the first major name, but it could be some more major name rappers before it's over with. Just watch. It might be 2 more.
Yeah. There's always a lot more. This doesn't stop, man. It does not stop.
Because
I'm talking about mainstream, somebody that people know the name, because they always know name rappers. I'm talking about everybody, even if you don't know the Migos, everybody know who the Migos is.
Yeah.
And again, just the whole racial thing, right? The word black equals 11. You got a black rapper dead on the first day of the 11th month. It's the day leaving 60 days left in the year. The N-word 60. We always see this racial encoding too. So.
Right, and he dies on the 305th day of the year, and the first attempt on their life was in the 305 area code.
Exactly. You say the 305th day of the year, right? You take the 0, that's 35. Any of the 35 somewhere in this decode?
Rap is 35. Bengali's 35. Yeah, it's another one.
And now check this out, right? The album, okay, Quavo Honcho, which is the album that Quavo came out with Travis Scott. And we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the Astro World thing. So Quavo Honcho is an album that came out with Travis Scott. After that, The Last Rocket comes out, which is Takeoff's album. And then the last one to come out was his Father of Four album by Offset with the lead-off single, which is called Red Room, and Red Room equals 38. A lot of the beats were produced by Metro Boomin, and Metro Boomin just lost his mom.
Yo, John, did you see the video of Messi? The video that came out? The video came out on Halloween. Did you see the video for Messi?
I ain't seen it yet.
It's a part in the video when they go to Quavo part. He in the bed with the gun and it looked like a contract.
Hmm.
He in the
I'm gonna check that
bed,
out.
a gun, and the contract. And the video came out on Halloween. The song is called Messy.
Terrible.
And you heard what I was saying about quality control and all the artists that they done sacrifice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, I think the huge thing that we really uncovered in this is, again, like you said, 305 area code was the first hint. Then he's dead on the 305th day of the year. The 305 area code was in the van. Now he's dead on the anniversary of Mac Dre killed in the van. And that news broke about the near-death experience in the van for Migos on the 87th day of the year. Now he's dead exactly 87 months after the first Migos album comes out, when Quality Control Music's 87. And again, you run it the other way, it's 111, like he's dead on 11/1. No.
And it's always a tribute to the past.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. That's why every year when around the time of Tupac's death and shooting anniversary, it's the same stuff. Who was the rapper who died on September 12th, the day before the anniversary of Tupac? What's his name?
Wasn't that
Mac
PNB
Miller,
Rock?
wasn't that Mac Miller?
Mac Miller died the other year on the anniversary of Tupac getting shot, but this year.
PNB Rock.
Yeah, he died the day before
Okay,
Tupac's
yeah.
anniversary.
And remember, PNB Rocks is from Philly. And what's happening with Philly? The Eagles are taking off. The Phillies are taking off. The Flyers are having a pretty good season.
Their MLS team is in the championship.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
And we don't know about the 76ers yet.
It's the 76th NBA season. Maybe I didn't put up. Oh, I only did that post on his death on my Twitter page because I was on the road when that happened. But yeah. So. All right. Well, does anybody else have any closing words? Because I do got to hit the road here in a minute. So.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, yeah. Give it to us. We're listening.
All right. Man, it's gonna be a long one, man. I'm trying not to drag this out.
Go
man,
ahead.
but...
I got about 10 minutes till I got to hit the road.
Okay. So today, did you guys know today has 34 date numerology?
Like, again, murder equals 38 and 34 like rapper. Yes. And it has 54 date numerology like Jesuit order.
Yep. And not only that, I heard somebody mention in the last video he put out, the name of that song equals 54, like today's dead on day with 54 numerology.
Wait, what song equals 54?
That last song, the one with the contract, I can't think of the name of it.
Messy. Talking about the song that came out on Halloween.
Yeah,
Messy
equals 54. Yep.
Okay.
Because it was a messy night.
Right.
Get it back. It was a messy night. That's why the song came out on Halloween.
Right.
Because it was going to be a messy night.
Good point.
He also died 322
point.
days after I think it's Offset's birthday. And notice Offset's real name. I can't pronounce it, so I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. But Offset's real name, it equals 201, and it equals 93, like Order of Illuminati. And against Skull and Bones, it equals 201. What's also interesting, the CEO of Quality Control, his name is Pierre Thomas. He goes by P, and he's born June 7th. Of course, June 7th, 6/7, blood sacrifice. But from his birthday to the death is 147 days later. And his name happens to equal 147, like conspiracy, like Freemason. And oh yeah, here's another thing I wanted to mention. Somebody mentioned that the last album that Takeoff did is called Only Built for Infinity Links. I'm noticing here it released on October 7th. That day could be written 10/7. Of course, shootings 107.
And 107 is the 28th prime.
Yeah, and that's the 28th prime.
107.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yep, and he's dead at
good
28. But just notice that's 25 days after that came out, and death is 25. And oh yeah, Last Rocket equals 34 as well. So Last Rocket 34. Then a 34 date numerology.
But only built for infinity links equals 340. In ordinal, you drop the 0, that's another 34.
Right. Yeah.
Murder and rapper, there's a lot of 34s. It's hold on.
Yeah, there's too many of them, man. And now, are you seeing on Twitter that King Von, he's trending on Twitter right now, and he's another 38. You know, King Von 38.
one quick thing. I see somebody in the chat say Quavo got a song called 230. If he got a song called 230, and he got shot at 230, come on now.
Yeah, he does. He does have a song called 230, and he does.
And then they said he got shot at 230.
So, and again, the point to make about that, at 2:30, that's the 150th minute of the day. Remember, Illuminati equals 150. They had to point out that when Alec Baldwin shot the Ukrainian woman, it was at 1:50 p.m. in the afternoon. And remember, Illuminati means in the light. They say the sun is 150 million kilometers away. So that's another familiar pattern with suspicious deaths, 150, and that makes sense. The 150th minute of the day.
Not to mention the 305. Not only is Miami the 305 area code, I know Freemasonry just turned 305 years old. So
yeah, and then remember that building fell in Miami.
Yeah, the building fell a year before the Roe versus Wade.
And I remember there was all kind of ooish presence on that. Allah Israel was over here for that.
Yep.
Yeah, only built for Infinity Links 340, Rapper 34, Murder 34.
You're right. Isn't King Von 34 too? Since they're trending that. King Von 34, 38.
King Von 38, 34, like Rapper and Murder.
Pop Smoke.
Yeah, Pop Smoke, another one just like that. 38, 34.
Yep. Oh yeah, and PNB Rock, another 38, 34.
What was it? You said what was it? The 83. It was some 83. One of the D codes. What was the 83, Zach?
Takeoff's birth name. His birth name equals 83, and he had 83 posts on his Instagram page.
Because you know the reason why I say 83 because I got the TV on in the background in mute, and the Astro Philly game started at 8:03, and I was just thinking about the 83 when I saw the time the baseball game was to start, and this is game 3.
Every single game of this World Series starts at 8:03 Eastern. And that
why
matters.
What is it about 8:03? It could be 8:05, 8:07. Why 8:03?
Well, remember, Philly knocked out Atlanta, the defending champions, with an 8-3 score. And again, every time Philadelphia has won the World Series, whether they were the Philadelphia Athletics or the Philadelphia Phillies, there's been a huge economic collapse, and the word collapse is 83.
Oh, I wanted to add on something else too. You guys were talking earlier about the song Versace. That's their hit song, Versace. That came out back in 2013. You want to take a guess on what date that came out? It came out July 8th.
Okay, which can be written 87.
Yeah.
Another 87.
Yeah, and it's also 3 minutes and 25 seconds long. I know Scottish Rite of Freemasonry is 325.
Yeah. But I want to go back to a point you made, Zach, about how they do tributes to history. So, like we talked about, Matt Drake got killed in a van. The first attempt on the Migos was in a van. And then they say Pac-Man was the originator, was one of the first people who started drill rap in Chicago. Pac-Man, right? And on the on the 10-year anniversary of the day Pac-Man died, a drill rapper in Sacramento named Briz was shot and killed.
Oh, I remember that.
That was like a tribute to the originator of drill music, because Briz did drill music. 10 years to the date.
Pac-Man even equal? Let me see that.
10 years to the date. I mean, I got the whole decode, but yeah, 10 years to the date.
Yeah. You know, Pac-Man equals 48 like drill music.
Okay.
Pac-Man 48 like drill music. Think about it. Pioneer drill music.
Right.
Yeah. Indeed.
Oh,
all
yeah.
Right, well, I really appreciate all the additional information.
Hold on, Zach.
Oh, you got one more? Okay.
He wants to come on. He says he wants to come on.
Who wants to come on?
Truth does not exist.
Oh, hold on. He is in the room. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Truth does not exist. I don't want to talk about underground cheese. I don't need any personal information to send me offline. Again, this is about, I hope we got something that adds to the content here. What's up, Truth Does Not Exist?
Hey, I got a decode plan for this. Oh, hold on. Let me show my screen.
What?
If I can do that. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
So I have a decode here. So one thing I wanted to say was I noticed I put it here. 3 people were shot, and one of them was a member of the 3-member group. So like you're 33, 3 is 56. But the bowling alley was called Billiards Bowling, which is 102, just like slavery. And Dice is 87, just like slavery 87. I also found this song from him called Last Memory, and he said it talked about shooting twice or something. And I noticed that Last Memory was 42, the black number. Bowling Alley is 56 and 137. King Richard pointed that out.
He's dead on his 137th day of his age, the 33rd prime. And yeah, you're right. 1/3 of the group's gone, which is 33%. So yeah, that is a good thought.
Yep. Oh yeah, Houston, Texas equals 181. That's the 42nd prime.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it said that he was a Georgia rapper. Georgia is 44 and 37.
He dies 44 days.
Just like the shooting number, 44 and 37, Georgia. His real name is Krishnik Carey Ball. I'm going to assume that's how it's pronounced, but that's 83. Also, the guy who, the police officer who announced that he died, his name was Troy Finner. Troy Finner is 144 and 54, so you get those Jesuit numbers in there.
Yeah, 54 date numerology too.
And it said that he died at, the Washington Post says that he died at approximately 2:34 a.m. So 34, that murder number 34.
That's the 154th minute of the day. Ritual sacrifice equals 154. Remember, we just had the thing over the weekend in Seoul, Korea with the mass stampede where they're saying the death toll is now 154, and it's just before the anniversary of the tragedy in Houston. So ritual.
They've since changed that. Now they're saying it's 156.
It just keeps ticking up, huh? Okay, so 9/11, the 156 prime.
And I noticed it also mentioned a 24-year-old woman was also shot, and the Dice is also 24 was something that I noticed. So it's like the same numbers that they keep using, over and over.
21.
Again.
Yeah, it's 21 as well. You know what that reminds me of? When the 21. Not only Jesuits 21. Remember last year, Slim 400 died 21 days after Young Dolph died.
And Dice is 21
Yep.
in two ciphers. It's 21.
Yeah.
But notice how they built the Migos up to be like the biggest group of all time, and now they're tearing them down. Offset left the group. Now Takeoff's dead. Their buzz is gone. You see what I'm saying? Like they built them up to be this huge, super mega group, and now they're like tearing them apart little by little. Because first Offset left the group just recently. That's why they got an album with it's just them two, the uncle and the nephew. Now the nephew's gone. So like they build you up just to tear you down.
And I bet you all the old Migos streams gonna skyrocket. You gonna see the skyrocket. All they gonna
number one.
Skyrocket.
Them streams
all
going
their
number
streams
one.
gonna go up.
Yep.
And that album, that Takeoff album wasn't even that good. But I guarantee you, the streams are gonna go up 300 to 400 to 500%.
Jonathan, I bet you can do the percentages by the number.
Yep.
He's up 200,000 subscribers since I did the first stream about him about 3 hours ago. 200,000. Think about that. 200,000 subscribers in 3 hours.
That's huge. And I don't mean to talk about the dead, but that album was trash.
Yeah, that shit was garbage.
I mean, come on. I mean, are you serious?
Yeah,
like they're better off as a group. Like when they do
all them
solo albums,
I mean, all their group stuff gonna go up. I mean, they screens, all their group stuff screens gonna go up. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey Zach, do you know about the label owner Ghazi Shami? You heard about him?
He owns
Empire.
Empire.
Gotta go quick. I gotta go. Otherwise, we're reading about my obituary later.
So let me let me close it out. So also, I just figured. So Migos is 63, just like Troy Finner is 63, the guy who announced the death of Offset. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for my decode. And this is your average critic, Zach. I found.
Indeed.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Great work. Great final contributions there. Truth does not exist. I'm impressed. All right, everybody. Again, Jonathan's got his book coming, 38 Special. Support everybody in the community. And thank you to everyone who supports the work. And remember, at my website, you can support the work or you can even download my books for free. Either way is cool. But I do encourage people to invest more in this gematria knowledge, read more about it, learn more about it, because you'll see day after day, this is what's going on in the world. So.
Yeah, I'm halfway through both of them. They're both awesome books. I can't wait for the third one.
Appreciate that. Yeah. All right. We'll leave it there. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. And
All right, everybody.
Good night.
All right, have a
Salute.
Peace.
Peace.